This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Y'all,
Just
this is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy
Hello.
Thursday, everybody. Tori making herself known in the first tenth of a second.
Yes.
Hi.
Just the person at the show where you know they're going to be a problem. Like the ushers. The ushers are like, green shirt. Okay. Yeah. Keep an eye
Very
on her.
Lauren Boebert of her.
Yeah.
Don't go there. Wow. I don't.
Colorado reference.
I'm not going to reach across the aisle, if you know what I mean. Like she did. Hello. Grabby McGrabberstein.
We got it.
Okay.
I hope people out there get that reference.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, man.
Let's get to what matters. Taylor Swift.
Thank
because
you.
she's making headlines again. She premiered her Eras Tour movie last night in LA. She showed up in a pale blue Oscar de la Renta dress and a shorter hairstyle. But you know what? Her long hair was likely tucked underneath. The big surprise was Beyoncé, who came out to support Taylor on Instagram. Taylor said it was like an actual fairy tale that she showed up. They played for the cameras with this video, throwing popcorn inside the theater. Ha ha ha. Taylor also made time for the hundreds of fans who were hand-selected to attend the screening. Hand-selected fans? All right. She chatted with them outside and posed for a bunch of selfies. She even autographed a fan's arm so she could later get it tattooed onto her skin. Our camera guy Rob did the same thing. Another inside joke. All right, so inside, Taylor was seen jamming out to her own songs with actress Julie Gardner and Adam Sandler.
Okay.
Lot of info there, guys. A lot
yeah.
of T-Swift.
Yeah. Does anyone remember this moment, though? Beyonce and Taylor supporting each other. What happened when Kanye interrupted Taylor? What happened then? You guys, let's throw that picture up.
Good intro.
She asked Taylor to come up because she was interrupted. These two have been supporting each other, fixing each other's crowns, and saving the United States economy all in one. These two are literally saving America.
Go ahead.
I
please.
think some people may have needed that reminder.
Thank you.
Because some of us never forgot.
Thank you.
When that moment happened with Kanye saying about Taylor, or about Beyonce during Taylor's moment, and Beyonce said, I remember when I was that age and I had that moment, and I want to see you get your moment. And when Taylor wrote the caption, or on her Instagram, it said, I'm so glad that I never knew a life without the support or inspiration of Beyonce. And I think that all this time, media, fans, people try to pit these two women against each other, and it's completely unnecessary, because behind the scenes, I think that there has been a mutual respect all along. I think that more than one person can be great, and when you see this at the highest level, it reminds you that you don't have to have a crabs in the bucket barrel mentality, that more than one person can win. In fact, with collaboration, everyone wins.
Yeah, and
Can you hear it?
Just stepping back and just looking at it just as a fan of music and of popular culture, you think about like the intersection of three careers at that moment, like where Taylor was, where Beyonce was, and where Kanye was. And after that intersection, the catastrophic, the unbelievable takeoff of Taylor Swift, Beyonce has just remained amazing. And, the kind of fluctuation to downfall of Kanye, and just how all three of those careers kind of intersected right there on that stage, and how their careers haven't been the same since, for better or worse.
Do you think, not to pit women against each other, but somebody's got to be number one? Is there any competition there at all?
I don't think
Movies
there's
and
crossover
music?
there.
No, not
Really?
at all.
They're not even in
at
the
all.
same-
You can't have a number one in a situation like this, because there's no way to really compare these two icons. Like, it'd be like being like, okay, well, we need to have is it going to be Aretha or is it going to be Diana? Like, you just can't. You can't do that.
But at
There's
least
no way to
Aretha
do
and
it.
We do it in
Diana
sports
are
all the time. Maybe that's why I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Well, but I do think, and I thought that was a good point, that Aretha and Diana Ross are considered on the Mount Rushmore of divas. So that's the beauty shop, barbershop argument where you're like, who's the best? Oh, Aretha could out sing her. No, Diana Ross is the queen. That's a conversation you
I
could
like
have,
those
but I feel they're the best conversations.
Yeah.
But I feel like Taylor and Beyonce are just, they kind of almost occupy two different circles in the Venn diagram, and there's not that much crossover, so there's not that reason to butt heads. Whereas like there was always a little thing with Kanye and Drake, where like who's kind of the king of hip hop.
See, like that's, first of all, those are subjective. I mean, you can talk record sales, of course, and that's going to be qualitative,
yes.
Right? But most of it's subjective. I just don't even think that they're in the same lane, but they're also like, you know, you could arguably, a lot of people would say that they're in the same level in terms of, you know, success.
And their tours are both grossing so high. I just remember also Adele. Remember when she won and she broke off or whatever and gave a piece of her award to Beyonce? Beyonce is a common denominator as a person that has stayed as a mentor and also a supporter and an inspiration for all these top women. So she is a common denominator for them.
And she's also super quiet.
Yeah, very. You don't hear much
anything. You just see like occasionally somebody did something great and you get flowers from Beyonce.
Right. And it's huge.
And it's spoken for.
Yeah,
Like
it's a statement.
Everything's spoken.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to agree. Coming up on DBL, host of the Golden Bachelor, Jesse Palmer. Speaking of equals, there's no number one between me and Jesse. We're the same guy.
You're so much worse.
Jesse sharing why he thinks this version of the show is such a big hit. And did Chris Rock really ask Jada Pinkett Smith on a date? Ooh, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, there's so much, in terms of music, there's so much crossover in terms of like who is your like competitor and who is just like your inspiration. I feel like a lot of people look at the people that kind of came after Eminem, you know, the rappers that came after him, they were lower than him. Machine Gun Kelly, younger guy trying to take out the older guy.
Isn't Eminem always about rap battles being I'm the best?
Well, he came up in the Detroit rap battle
and that's
scene.
always been like, I got this, I got that, you got, like, is that the whole language, right?
That used to be before YouTube and SoundCloud and things like that could take a song like Old Town Road and make it famous even before old people like us heard of it. It was already a big song on SoundCloud and different platforms. The gatekeepers to having your music heard were the DJs. And a lot of times in hip hop, the way that you would get famous was a DJ. If it's DJ Slay, I have to get him to play my tape. And if he plays my tape on his show and it goes big, I'm famous. Almost the way the late night shows used to be for comedians.
Oh, wow, okay.
And
like the MCs would pick.
Right, and so like Eminem was really the last of that in terms of like he had to beat every rapper in Detroit and have that kind of legit street cred before he could move on, where now you can just, you don't have to, you don't have to have that. Who's the guy?
the same for like all pop too. Like if you notice, everyone used to do Good Morning America, the Today's Show. That was like the way to announce a new album.
Stars on those shows.
Yeah, Beyonce was doing Sasha Fierce when she was announcing 4 and all that good stuff. You know?
But don't you think that rap in particular, hip hop, I don't know a lot about it, is always like, I got this. It's about
stand-up show that you said, like
it's beating. It's like I've got more than, or I'm more than this, and that's part of the culture.
It's about telling a story, and that's part of the story.
Narration. Yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. Jada Pinkett Smith dropped another shocking revelation in her upcoming memoir. Long before the slap heard around the world, Jada claimed Chris Rock asked her out on a date. Ooh. She said that Chris thought she and Will were getting a divorce, so he called her up and asked her out, but then Jada clarified that those were just rumors. Jada says Chris was appalled and apologized, and that was that. But now this is this.
That's funny.
Were you guys at Erica? I'm hoping you were able to follow that, because I literally had our producer Karen write this out because I couldn't understand. I'm gonna
give us the background a little.
Okay, it says Chris claims Jada wanted him to quit hosting the Oscars in 2016 after the Oscars So White.
Right, there was some tension there, right?
She says that was all a misunderstanding. and she should have called him to clear the air and wish him the best. So I'm wondering, can you have a misunderstanding about something like, I don't want you to host the Oscars? That seems like something that would be a pretty clear message one way or the other.
Well, yes, but so the way I remember this, because we were all in it, you know, like in terms of like following it, the way I remember it is it started out as like some social media posts and it became very viral. And because Jada Pinkett Smith was one of the first to say like, you know, we're not attending, this is, you know, come out, it kind of became her thing, but I don't think she was the only person who was saying
to Chris Rock.
Clearly, the hashtag Oscars So White wasn't just Jada Pinkett Smith, but it kind of became like because she spoke out about it.
Right.
Yeah, so I think what she's saying is that she should have clarified or cleared the air with him, understanding the amount of pressure that he was under, which is a hindsight's 2020 thing. But at the time, most people are thinking about themselves, their families, and how things affect them. So, yeah, I think a lot of people think about how I could have handled that situation.
How does the he asked me out factor into that?
I think there's some love. I do too.
After.
I think there's some heebie-jeebie feelings around here. There's a love triangle sense. Whenever Will did that to Chris Rock, and I could be wrong, there was the sense of like, we've had history here.
They absolutely have.
There's history of like, but not just of that, of like over Jada. It just felt a little bit weird. I'm speculating.
No, and we're all speculating.
Yeah.
Nobody talked to them.
Yeah.
I'm on a group chat.
Yeah. But
tell us what he said.
Y'all, I don't think people understand the real presence and power of Jada Pinkett. Everybody wanted to be with Jada Pinkett. Jada was with Tupac, okay? So, like, Jada was always that girl. So I'm sure Chris Rock wasn't the only guy who was like, oh, Jada might be splitting from Will. Let me jump in because we know the moment that it hits the streets, everybody's going to be after Jada. Like, everybody talks all this smack about Jada Pinkett now. Jada has always been that girl. I don't know why people act like she wasn't and still is. She is. That's why people get so bothered. Nobody has that type of pressure or that type of visceral reaction if you ain't that girl.
I don't think we're like coming at her because she's that girl. I think we're just questioning some of her actions.
No, I'm not saying that you're personally coming at her because she's that girl.
I have a list of people that are that girl, and they know who they are. And I'm coming for them. Every morning, just cross them off.
I'm just saying that no one gets that type of, like, everybody's talking about it, everybody's annoyed, they're happy. Like, she makes people have visceral reactions.
She brings it out,
and the reason why is because she has always been that girl.
Do you think
if she wasn't, nobody'd be talking about it and nobody would care?
Well, she's also attached to Will Smith.
And Will Smith and Chris Rock, in some respects, both comedians, both actors, both. I mean, I didn't just feel a little heebie-jeebie.
I just feel like Will Smith was one of the biggest stars in the world at one time, and like we're not addressing that. And I feel like.
But why isn't he anymore?
Well, first of all, we're talking about Jada right now. We're not talking about Will.
But she's married to Will. And you
right, but
said the love triangle.
In these particular stories, it is about Jada. But and it's coming from her memoir.
But isn't because
Will released his a couple years ago.
What, Jeff?
Isn't it some of her actions that we're talking about her, not because she's that girl?
Here's the thing, Jeff. We all do actions. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about.
But her actions are questionable.
Actions.
Very questionable.
But that's not the reason why you care. You care
because
it's
I think it's weird that you sleep with your friend's friend or your son's friend. I think it's weird that you're calling out
because you care. Because
I don't.
It's her.
I really don't. I really don't.
I'm saying the reason why we're talking about it is because it's her.
That's not why I'm talking about it.
Me neither.
Yes, it is.
I'm talking about because she slept with her friend's son.
If it was
and her
Sarah
husband,
Smith, you wouldn't care.
Anybody
like, you can't even say that you don't care because it's her.
We talked about the Kevin Costner divorce. I didn't even know who she was up until then. Like, I look at these stories not because it's her, because I feel like I would get in trouble covering stories that I was emotionally attached to. I feel like that's where you, as a person that talks for a living, that's when you get into trouble. I look at the situation and say, does this apply to everybody? Is this a rule just for them? Why are people looking at this differently? And I just want to talk about it with my friends. It's not because you're that girl. I don't even.
Now, you're that guy. We gotta go. We gotta go. We're gonna, whatever. We'll see you later. We'll be right back.
On October 3rd, the White House announced a plan to build 20 miles of border wall in South Texas. Several Verify viewers, including John and Brandon, reached out to ask if this is a reversal for President Joe Biden. So, let's verify. Did Biden previously say he wouldn't construct any more of the border wall? Our sources are the Department of Homeland Security and remarks made by Biden. In 2020, on the campaign trail, Biden told a panel of journalists that, as president, he would not expand the wall.
There will not be another foot of wall constructed on my administration.
Once elected, on his first day in office, he issued a proclamation to pause work on each construction project on the southern border wall. So, yes, President Biden did previously say he wouldn't construct any more of the border wall. However, Biden argues he had little choice in stopping this new construction. In 2019, under then-President Donald Trump, Congress passed a spending bill that earmarked more than $1 billion to build this section of wall. And CBP said unless Congress cancels these funds, the law requires DHS to use the funds consistent with their appropriate purpose. Since that was never done, the project is moving forward. Biden's Secretary of Homeland Security also acknowledged there is presently an acute and immediate need to construct physical barriers. With your Verify along the U.S.-Mexico border in San Diego, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. Things are heating up on the Golden Bachelor, and we spoke with the host, Jesse Palmer, about why it's never too late for love. Plus, he gave us his thoughts on Taylor Swift's romance with NFL star Travis Kelce. Take a look. Please welcome the host of the Golden Bachelor, Jesse Palmer.
Yeah.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey, good to see everybody. How are you?
Good to see you.
Great to see you too, Jesse. So when the Golden Bachelor was first announced, some people imagined the contestants to be more like, well, the Golden Girls. So what surprised you the most about these women?
The thing that I think that surprised me the most on night one was the energy and the confidence of all the women. As soon as they got out of that limo, these women were absolutely incredible. And I really thought on night one, because this was the Golden Bachelor, we might get some naps throughout the course of the night. You know, that first night is the longest night in TV. It literally goes from 7 p.m. all the way to 8 a.m. These women partied all night. There was a dance-off party. They literally went to when the sun came up. I have no idea how they did it, but they were having the time of their lives.
So I have to ask you, what's the biggest difference that you're seeing in how the older contestants are going about finding love? Are they avoiding the drama and going right for the emotion? Like, what are you seeing?
I think the biggest thing is maturity, and I think even more than that, emotional maturity. They all have life experiences. They've lived life, they've loved, they've lost, and they're applying all of that life knowledge, I think, to this experience on the show. You know, normally as the host, I'm the one that's giving people advice on dating, on relationships. There's nothing I'm going to be able to say to Gary or this group of women.
The Bachelor Gary went against advice from friends to not kiss any of the ladies on the first night. But did this surprise you?
What I've seen time and time again, and certainly having lived that experience myself, I know that the moment can take you over. And I think Gary was blown away by the women on night one. I think he knew that he was going to get excited. He was going to have some of those excited feels going into this. But I don't think he expected to meet the level of woman that he was meeting over and over and over again. And so I give Gary a lot of credit because he let the moment take him. He did not follow that advice not to kiss anybody, obviously, on night one. And I think moving forward throughout this journey, he's just being Gary. That's one of the best things I can say about him.
But I'm just wondering if you think things might get even more steamy like the other Bachelor cast in the future.
Oh, it's coming. Don't worry. I think one of the questions a lot of people had in this thing, I think one of the biggest questions a lot of people had in this too was, are there going to be fantasy suites? How big of a part does romance play in this for everybody involved? And, you know, I think that the romance is something that was very important to Gary in this. It was very, very important to the women as well, to find their person and find their partner down the road. And so I think you're going to see a lot of things start to pick up. I think the emotion's going to pick up. I think the drama is certainly going to pick up very soon. A lot of surprises still in store for people out there watching as the Golden Bachelor unfolds.
Jesse, I love your enthusiasm for this, just like everybody else up here on the panel, but everyone is talking about how emotional the Golden Bachelor is already. Have you been moved to tears yet?
I don't want to give it away, but
Yes.
I'll tell you, yes. I mean, building up until this season, every time I would see that video of Gary's story, and I'm not sure if you guys remember it at the start, sort of his backstory, finding the love of his life, tragically losing her, that hit me every single time.
Before you go, you happen to play in the NFL. Go Giants! Am I right? The Giants?
Go Bears!
Go.
You are right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have been, you might have heard of them. They're somewhat in the spotlight, blah, 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 blah. Do you think they have found love? And have you heard anything on the NFL grapevine?
To me, this has just been a win-win for everybody.
That's what I said.
I think for the NFL and for Taylor Swift, and I think for Travis Kelce. And I happen to think and believe it's authentic. Mm-hmm. And I'm very hopeful that this lasts a very, very long time.
DBL Nation, catch a new episode of The Golden Bachelor tonight on ABC. Also, Avocados from Mexico are partnering with Jesse. They want you to host a better bowl game day viewing party with plenty of guac made from avocados from Mexico. So visit avocadosfrommexico.com for recipes and cool prizes ahead of game day. We will be right back.
You're the best, man.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Go Gators.
Bye, guys.
At multiple Walgreens stores nationwide, pharmacists walking off the job. Not for higher pay, they say, but for health and safety reasons.
We're so busy running ourselves ragged. It's like a marathon. And seeing, customer safety be at risk as well as our own.
Tammy, who asked us not to use her full name, works as a pharmacist technician at a busy Walgreens in Minnesota. She says she joined at least 10 of her colleagues who did not report for work on Monday.
It's very scary, and we're actually getting to the point where it looks like, I don't know, like how much farther we can push ourselves.
In addition to filling and verifying prescriptions, Tammy and other Walgreens employees say pharmacists and support staff are also managing a high volume of calls, working with insurance companies, and administering a growing number of vaccines. In a statement, Walgreens acknowledges that the last few years have required an unprecedented effort from our team members, and that it has been a very challenging time. The second largest retail pharmacy also says it's engaged and listening to the concerns raised by some of its team members and is committed to ensuring that the entire pharmacy team has the support and resources necessary. Last month, CVS pharmacy customers in Kansas City were impacted when workers there also walked off the job to protest over similar staffing concerns.
They understand the risks that are being posed to the community that with these demands on them, so they don't want to make a mistake.
According to USA Today, CVS corporate staff flew to Kansas City to meet with organizers and agreed to improve working conditions and patient safety.
I don't think a lot of customers understand that we are trying to do our best for them.
Walgreens organizers say they don't want to disrupt patient care, but need to take a stand, a sentiment some customers can appreciate.
I support workers' rights, and, a little inconvenience for me is worth it.
Several verified viewers forwarded us this text message that says 7 women died after inhaling poisoned perfume from a sample they got in the mail. Our viewers want to know if it's real. So, let's verify. Our sources are Glen Eagles Hospital in Malaysia, the DC Metropolitan Police Department, and a search of social media archives. The warning in this text claims to come from Glen Eagles Hospital, but there's no hospital in the U.S. with that name, although there is one in Malaysia. Glen Eagles Hospital has debunked this viral warning several times, including in this 2013 statement on Facebook saying, "We have never admitted or treated such patients and have never been aware of such incidences." We would also like to categorically state that this email did not originate from our hospital. 3 years later, the warning resurfaced on WhatsApp, prompting Glen Eagles to issue another statement calling it a hoax that has been around since 2001. This warning is one of several similar hoaxes that are attributed to the Office of Risk Management at the Metropolitan Police Department in Washington, D.C. A police spokesperson tells us the text wasn't sent from them and noted that the Office of Risk Management isn't located at the address listed on the text. So, no, 7 women did not die after inhaling poisoned perfume samples. The warning is a hoax. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out.
Steph, what do you have for us today? I'm ready to shop.
Hey Tori, hey DBL Nation. I am so excited to show you the deals. As ever, they're fabulous. The first one has got my name all over it. Check it out. We've got the Olympia USA Lancer 3-piece expandable hard side luggage set.
Look at that color.
I know, it's amazing. This deal includes one 21-inch carry-on, one 25-inch mid-size luggage, and one 29-inch large luggage.
Wow.
Normally, it's $680.
Stop.
We have got a 3-piece set for $139.99. That's saving you guys 79%. Now, I also love this. This is so cozy.
Oh, wow.
It's the Columbia Super Soft Plush Blanket. You guys, it's amazing. It includes one blanket. We've got it available in 3 neutral colors and 3 sizes. Normally, this is $80.
No. Get us to the savings.
We've got it for $24.99.
Oh, baby.
Saving 69%. Now, check out this. Okay, so for all of you that love a smooth face, we've got a 2-pack Pop Sonic Smoothie Hair Remover.
Oh.
So this deal includes 2 hair removers. We've got them available in 3 colors. So we've got this gorgeous blush, white, and lavender. Normally, this is $30.
Okay.
We've got 2 for $8. That's saving 73%. Our last product today is the Bob the Pillow Leg Support Pillow. This deal includes 1 pillow with 2 covers. So the pillow is designed to provide full leg support, great airflow, and keep you aligned in the proper side sleeping position all night long.
What?
Normally, this is $109.
I mean, that's not even that bad.
We got it for $32.99. That's saving 70%.
I've never even seen this.
I am super excited to give it a go.
Head on over to morningsave.com, y'all, to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even scan the QR code on screen to take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph.
We're having a little behind the scenes, who's the best actor of this genre category. Those are like my favorite.
Right.
Amazing.
Beer, you just get in.
Yeah.
Campfire talk.
Yes.
The best.
I love it. Al's on my list. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.